Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. It's Tuesday. So one interesting thing that I'm going to be trying to work on today is, as you can see, I have my older iPod Mini here. Now, a few weeks ago, it was basically whatever week it was that I got the last set of headphones. My iPod with the my iPod Classic stopped working, and it stopped reading my headphones. And normally, what I do is I have these older iPods around because I generally like them a little bit more, and it's like they have smaller songs because my music library is, or smaller amounts of songs because my music library is over 20 gigabytes now, like just music. I think around 25. Whereas these things came back in the day. This is a 4 gigabyte, as you can probably see. So I'm actually trying to open this up. And the interesting thing about these is that they ran off of these mini hard disks, which I'm hoping to be able to show to you once I get this all out. But those mini hard disks are the exact same size as compact flash cards, and they have the exact same pins. So the interesting thing that people can and have done is these iPod Mini CF card mods, where you can actually take out the Mini's hard drive and put in a compact flash card, which are have higher amounts of data storage that they can do. This is a 64 gig one that I just got in this morning, and which obviously means that I can have more songs on this. In addition, I have a battery here, which I would like to just generally replace because these things came with a 400 milliamp battery, and this one is 1300. So that'll be fun to replace. Now I just started off beforehand prying these two plates off, which I just kind of did carefully with this screwdriver that came with the battery. The next step, I believe, is to take off of these two small screws here on the top. So let's get that done. Okay, pretty simple and easy. I'm putting those in this little CF card tray just so I can keep them off to the side. The next step here is going to be to take this metal plate off on the bottom. Now this has kind of these grips that kind of grip the side. Well, I mean, a little bit redundant, but whatever. So you kind of need to work that out with the screwdriver. And again, I can't really show that on camera, but I'm basically going to put my screwdriver in here on this edge and wrap it around and try to knock it loose. And again, not really too bad. Just a few minutes later and a little bit of work, and that's off. So the next step here is this little ribbon cable here that connects the click wheel to the rest of the iPod itself needs to come off. There's a little connector here, but be very, very gentle with this when you take this off. You don't want to screw this up, because then if you do, you're going to have to replace the whole click wheel, and that's not a good time. And again, not too bad. This is just kind of loose. Now again, be careful not to break it, because these are sensitive. But now, the board this would come on now, even though it's on hold. It doesn't matter because the battery is going to die anyway. Now we've kind of got to put you down and show you this step actually. Now we can just kind of not force it, but kind of carefully pull the board out. So as you can see here, we have the old case now, which still has the click wheel intact because the click wheel is not part of the board. But the click wheel works fine. But on the back here is the two things we're interested in. So we have the 4 gigabyte micro drive and the old battery. So let's see if we can get this battery out of here first, because it shouldn't actually be that bad. Again, you want to be careful. You don't want to damage anything. But this kind of just pops out. They have a little connector. So you can ultimately just kind of pop a new one in. I'm hoping you're able to see this carefully. Okay, so that's a new battery already in. This is not the best scenario for this cable, but it's not actually long enough you can realistically do anything with. So we're just going to kind of have to tuck it in. Okay, Now, to the main feature, this hard drive here. So we have to figure out exactly how to get this out. But, oh, it just slips out like that. Simple enough. So you got to be careful here. You have this little padding around the side of it to protect it from the any shakes and whatever. It's a little bit of a shock absorber. But we also have this tape around it to protect it and keep it on. So we need to try to get this off, but we still have to be careful because we cannot damage, again, the pins or any of the wires that are connecting the pins to the circuit board. Alright, that's basically everything. Now here's the other bit of the tape to the other corner of the shock absorber. Here's the other part of the shock absorber, which I didn't mention, but now we've got this thing basically free. And this, as I mentioned, is very similar in form factor and whatnot to the CF card. And by very similar, I mean nearly identical, to the point where if it wasn't Mac formatted, I could go put it in the little card reader on my desk and it would read perfectly fine. And I mean, I realistically probably could, and we can go try it a little bit just to see what will happen, but I'll realistically need to take the card reader off of the PC and actually plug it into the Mac. But the hard drive pops out just like that. Same pin setup and everything, and basically literally exactly the same as the CF card. CF card is actually a little bit thinner, so we'll see how this is going to shape up. Now, the CF card doesn't need any of the shock absorbers realistically like the regular hard drive does, because it's not a regular hard drive, it's flash-based memory. But it's generally probably a good idea to have them on if we can fit them back in easily. But it's also not the biggest deal in the world, just to kind of keep it from moving around too much. We also want to be careful not to get this LCD dirty. But for the moment, I think we're actually pretty good. Now, the thing I'm worried about with this mod is indeed not the compact flash, because I'm very certain that that'll work. It's the battery itself, because I'm hoping that this is a good quality battery, but we will see soon enough. So now, let's very carefully connect this into my MacBook.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question I heard.
I was not talking to you, Alexa. Okay, so just so I can actually see what's happening, I cut the shade, but plug carefully and get a ding. The iPod in, it says do not disconnect. So it is reading the card. It likely will need to be completely repaired. iTunes did open. iTunes is detecting it as a Lexar of all things. So say get started, I guess. It's detecting the full capacity. So we should be just about good to go. However, we will be restoring it in a little bit, but for the moment, let's leave it off, because yeah, it is flat out detecting it's a 64 gigabyte iPod. So CF mod seems to have worked. Let's get to reassembling the whole thing. I am not talking to you. Stop listening. Okay, so I tried to actually restore it through disk utility because iTunes failed. Let me try once more through the regular restore process. And see if we can get this thing to read. Oh, the second I press the stop button, it says we're good. So the iPod is rebooting. And after that, we should be just about good to go. Well, it seems to be copying most of my music over. It's queued the whole thing. It's reading the whole disc. So it's trying to sync over my 7.3 thousand songs, or That is not the correct number. I literally read the number and said 7.3K. It's 2.7K. What the hell? Okay, I'm losing my mind, but iPod mini mod is nearly complete. I just really have to put these two bottom plates back on, which I cannot do around the cable, so we'll just have to do that afterwards. But I didn't even use any glue or anything for the moment because it seems to be pretty steadily in, and it's detecting the hold switch if I flick it off and on. So I'll report back in a little bit after listening to music. Probably actually should realistically let this battery charge too. So in the meantime, just for shits and giggles, let's shove this in if it'll fit. Nope, won't fit. That's disappointing. But because this is an actual hard drive, like a spinning disk hard drive. This isn't a solid state or anything. This is a micro drive that's a regular spinning hard drive, basically, except really tiny. But the not SD, the CF cards have the same pins and basically the same format in the way they operate. So that's why these are pretty much replaceable by these, and you see this mod done decently often, which is why I actually really like this model of the iPod, because it both sounds good and, you can actually replace the media. You're not supposed to, but you can, and it's pretty easy. I went into this fearing that, I'd be damaging the top of my iPod, but the top of it came out pretty clean, actually. So I'm pretty pleased by that. The bottom isn't any worse. So I'm saying right now, the way it looks pretty successful. I found this peasant for a while.
Hello.
He's fuzzy.
I am fuzzy.
I don't know why you're fuzzy, but he came over for a little while.
Yes, I did.
Just for a little while, and then...
And I am pleased with myself.
Now he's leaving, and it's not even that late, but it is work night for you.
It is.
Even though it's not spring break for me.
Yeah. Where's spring break? Oh man, we didn't eat pie.
So far, with it now being close to 1:30 in the morning, it's not super late, but I've been using the iPod a little bit off and on, and it seems to be working pretty well. I haven't really had many issues with it after I got it to actually restore, because it took a few tries to restore before it would actually go and restore and then thus be usable. Let me straighten this light real quick. But yeah, it seems to be working pretty well. So the rest of today, other than Welch coming over, I spent a lot of time working on vlogs, and so I put 4 of them out today, which totaled over an hour. So pretty proud of that. I also assembled 3 more, so that means they basically just need to be colored, audio processed, and titled, and they're ready to be shipped off. So realistically, that shouldn't take that much time tomorrow. So I'm actually aiming to do, including those 3, 10 vlogs tomorrow. We'll see where we end up. I also have something rare planned for tomorrow night, and it's something that I haven't done since one of the single-digit number of days in the vlog, and tomorrow is going to be somewhere in the day 450 range, I think. So it's been a while. Some of you might have figured it out already.